When speaking with prospects, whether it's calling them, whether it's meeting them in person, one of the things that you wind up running into is reflex responses and brush offs. A reflex response is like you go into a store and a salesperson comes up and says, "May I help you?" The first thing you say is, "No thanks, just looking." Even though you know you're going in there to buy something and you need help finding it, it's just a reflex, right? You can't help it. And a brush off is something that you're told just to get rid of you. So what I've done in this map is I've put together how to respond to those reflex responses and brush offs. The first thing you do is you hear the brush off, you need to have an anchor statement. And what an anchor statement does is it lets you resist the flight of the fight or flight response. So it's kind of like walking through the woods in a bear. You come across a bear and you're supposed to not run, although your body tells you run. Well, the same thing happens here when you hear a not interested or I'm busy. It makes you say, okay, well, sorry I bothered you. Well, that's not what you want to do. You want to have an anchor statement so that you're in a position to kind of get your senses. You say this anchor statement, which then gives you the ability to use a disruptor statement. And then after the disruptor statement, you then ask for the appointment, which is the reason that we're calling anyway, right? You're usually not calling to sell anybody something the first time you call them. You're really just looking to extend the conversation and set an appointment so that you can dig deeper into helping them with their business. So when they say I'm not interested, the anchor statement here is very simple. That's what a lot of my current clients said the first time I called. That kind of puts them off guard because most people don't make a statement like that. And it puts you in a position that let them know you've heard it before and it's okay. You know that it's a reflex response. So after you say that, that gives you the second, you've collected your thoughts, and then you go to the disruptor statement. Most people said they aren't interested before they see how much I can help them. I don't know if my service will be a good fit for you and your company, but doesn't it make sense for us to at least get together for a short call/meeting to find out? And then you immediately say, how about Friday at 2 p.m.? You don't wait for them to answer. You just go ahead and say, how about Friday at 2 p.m.? Because that's really the answer to the question you're looking for. This is more of a rhetorical question, and this is the actual question that you want the answer to. If they say, I'm busy, the anchor here would be, that's exactly why I called. Nobody says that, right? I'm busy. Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted you. No, I'm busy. That's exactly why I called. I figured you would be, so I wanted to find out a time that's more convenient. And then you ask for the appointment. How about Wednesday at 10 a.m.? All of these are ways to handle it, no matter if you're in person, no matter if you're calling on the phone. Send over information is the death sentence, right? Well, the anchor to that is, sure, no problem. You don't really want to send the information over. You want to get to that next step. And the fact is that you say, tell me specifically what you're looking for. That allows them to think about it for a second, allows you to kind of regroup, and it lets you know what it is that they are looking for, and it gets them beyond it just being a brush off. And then if you aren't able to continue the conversation, you still go ahead and say, you know what, I'll get it over right away. When would be the best time to call back to walk through the information to see if it's a fit or not? Then happy with our provider, you can go through here, and then you have not interested part due. This is the one that I really like the best. This is how I handle it whenever they say they're not interested. The anchor here is, okay, I'm curious, what is it that you're not interested in? Not interested in getting more customers or not interested in a sales pitch? Most of the time, when they disrupt it, they're going to say, not a sales pitch. I understand I don't like sales pitches either. The great thing is that I'm not selling a product or service, and you go through this whole script here. If they say not more customers, this is where you get to have some fun with it, right? Because they're already telling you, I don't need you, I don't want you, and I really just want to get off the phone. But we don't want to let them off just yet. So it sounds like you guys must be very busy. Since you aren't looking for more customers, who would you refer your overflow to? And the reason we're asking that, they say, well, why do you ask? Look, there obviously would be somebody that you would refer business to, that you must trust them, and they must be someone that needs more business, and so that would be a great referral for me. And that's what so you want them to tell you who it is they would refer it to, because that's going to be your next call. And then from there, if they do say that, you're not asking for the next appointment, you're going to go call that next person. So those are how to respond to reflex responses. Again, follow it in this order. Don't just jump to the disruptor. You need to anchor it first. You need to catch them off guard a little bit. You need to anchor yourself so that you stay clear on your mission, and then you disrupt their pattern. So go through here, practice these, walk through them until you know them like the back of your hand, so that you're able to respond to reflex responses and brush offs with your own reflex response.